Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, chapter 13, that is, we are starting module 3 now. That is about nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. Okay, so we'll see what questions Arjuna is asking and what Krishna is going to reply. Okay, so this is about so Arjuna is asking the questions and Krishna is answering. So the questions, that's a best type of questions which Arjuna is asking. It is said that because such questions are asked, Krishna is giving such wonderful reply. And the questions are compared to the flowers. Yeah. And Krishna is like making a garland out of it. So that means it is so important to have a nice garland of Bhagavad Gita, or even if it is Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we will see first 7 slokas about Kshetra and Kshetrajna. 13.8 to 12 is about the process of knowledge, jnana. Okay, so here there is a synonyms. Does anyone know in this chapter the questions which Arjuna has asked? There are 2 P's, there are 2 K's, right? So there are 2 P's, that is Prakrti and Purusa. 2 K's is knower of the field and knowledge. And what else he is asking?
Jnanam and Jnayam.
Jnana and
Jnayam.
Yeah. So 2 J's. You can learn in that way. 2 P's and Prakriti. 2 K's, yes, K, that is knowledge and the knower of the field, knower. Then Jnana and Jnaya. Okay, so this 2 J's. So these are the synonyms it said. Okay. If Bhakti is culminating of yoga ladder, why is Jnana presented after?
It seems Mataji is Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'm sorry for that. I
Hare
had
Krishna.
some network problem. Okay. Okay. So the first 6 chapters is about Karma Yoga, right? The next 6 chapters is about Bhakti Yoga. And now last 6 chapters is about Jnana Yoga. Now I have all yoga, right? And Bhakti Yoga is the highest of all the yogic ladder. And why is again presenting Jnana? Why Krishna is presenting Jnana after Bhakti? Who can answer? Yes? Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, because Bhakti, Jnana is the byproduct of Bhakti, and we will come to know about Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, Mataji. That strong conviction will be there. That Jnana we will get after Bhakti.
Yes. Okay, that's one way of putting it. So here, without the touch of Bhakti, both Karma and Jnana are useless actually. This is another reason why discussion of Bhakti comes in the middle and Jnana comes at the end. Okay. And also, as Mataji said, yes, strong conviction, and we should have, the more we have Jnana, the more we become fixed in devotional service. No, that's very important. So if Bhakti is culminating on the why Jnana is presented after this, because the Lord promised to save the devotees from the path of birth and death, and He fulfilled this promise by supplying Jnana. Okay, necessary to excrete ourselves from the material entanglement. So Jnana is also otherwise without Jnana, Bhakti becomes just sentimental. Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Bhakti is the service part and Jnana is the knowledge part. The more we come to know about the Supreme Lord, the more our Bhakti also increases. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Okay.
Am I audible, Mataji?
Good.
Could you hear me?
So,
Hare Krishna.
yes. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. And which particular section of Bhagavad Gita discusses Bhakti? The first middle 6 chapters. So we know that, right? And because it's the most essence or secret, Krishna kept it in the middle, right? So that's why Bhakti Yoga is kept in the middle 6 chapters. So if Bhakti is supreme, is Jnana important for devotees? Why we are having all this Bhakti Shastri course and everything? Yes?
Jnana is as important, Mataji, as much as Bhakti. If one gets more dedicated towards Krishna and engages in devotional service, he needs to have more knowledge about Krishna, then that increases the attachment and love for Krishna.
Krishna says, Janma karma jame divyam evam yo vidi tattvada. If we know about Krishna's activities in truth, we'll no more coming back, no? So to get liberation. And another purpose is to preach. Unless you have a knowledge with Gita about Krishna, how do we preach? How do we spread Krishna consciousness? So for that also. So here Purusa is Kshetram and Kshetrajna. There is knower of the field and knowledge, and J's is Jnanam and Jnayam. Okay, so these are the 2 P's, 2 J's and 2 K's. Now, in the coming slokas, we'll go in detail. Jnana has its use in assisting attachment from Maya and our attachment towards Krishna. When you utilize the knowledge as a means to attain devotion, it also forms a part of Bhakti. Okay, now, so we'll see Kshetra and Kshetrajna. So verse 1 to 7 is discussing about this. So these are the 6 questions which Arjuna is asking to explain in this chapter. Prakrti, that is nature. Purusha, the enjoyer, that's Krishna. Kshetra, the field in which one can act. Kshetrajna is the knower of the field. Jnana is the knowledge, the process of acquiring it. And Jnayam is the object of knowledge. Okay. So these are the 6 questions which Arjuna is asking Krishna. Okay. So the first sloka is about the questions, what Arjuna is asking. The first slokas. Arjuna Vaja, Prakrtim Purusham Kshetranivacha, Edad Vedidamichami, Jnanam Jnayam Chakeshava, Sri Bhagavan Vaja, Idam Shariram Kaundeya, Kshetram Idi Abhidhiyate, Edat Yo Veditam Prahu, Kshetrajna Idi Tatvidaha. Arjuna said, oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakrti, that is nature, Purusha, knower, the field and the knower of the field, the knowledge and the object of knowledge. And the Supreme Personality of God said, this body, or son of King Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. Okay, so Kshetra is the body, okay, the field of activity. So it's a body made up of the elements, the material elements, and Kshetrajna is the knower of the body. So is there only one Kshetrajna? Is only the soul who's the knower of the body?
2 Kshetrajnas, Mataji, soul and super soul.
Soul and the super soul, very good. So what is the analogy Prabhupada mentions? What is it compared to?
2 birds sitting on a branch, Mataji.
Huh?
2 birds sitting on a branch of a tree.
That is, yeah, that is, okay, that is Atma and Paramatma. No, about Kshetrajna, knower of the field. Prabhupada gives a nice analogy. That's a Bhakti Shastri question. Did anyone read?
Citizen,
King knowing about the field, Mataji,
Yes.
about the land.
Yes.
And
So the king knows about, yes.
Knowing about everybody's land, and a particular individual knowing about his own land.
Yeah. So we know only about our property, our land. But the king or the government, because we pay taxes and we register and all, they have the detail of everyone's property. You know, that similarly, our soul knows only about my body, but the super soul knows about everyone's body. Like he's the supreme. So that's the difference. So Kshetra is the field of activities, that's my body. Kshetrajna is the knower of the body. There are 2 people. One is soul Shiva, who is living within the body, and also the super soul also. Okay. So Kshetra is the field, which is a non-permanent material thing. And Kshetrajna's soul is eternal. Okay. So Kshetrajna is Krishna also. How? Because Krishna is the knower of all the field, all the bodies, and he's a super soul in his body. Kshirodash. The analogy given is about the king knows everyone's land, and the citizen knows only about his land. Jnana means perfect knowledge of material body and the knower. So real knowledge means to know about body and soul, soul and super soul. Perfect knowledge is knowing Prakrti or material nature, Purusa, the enjoyer, and Ishvara, the controller or the field of activities, a finite enjoyer. So in the third sloka, Krishna is explaining Arjuna. Kshetratnyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetratnyor jnanam yata jnanam matam mama. O son of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all the bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. This is my Krishna gives the explanation, right? He is the knower of activities in every individual, and so this is what. So here you can see the different example given. A citizen may know about his patch of land, but the king knows about everyone's land. You understood? This is the line. So the fourth line here. A citizen knows everything about his land, but the king knows about whole palace. But all the properties possessed by the individual citizen, everything is known by the king. Similarly, one may be the proprietor of the body individually, but the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of everyone's body. The king is the original proprietor of the kingdom. Right? The citizen is a secondary proprietor. Similarly, Supreme Lord is the supreme proprietor of all bodies. So we won't have this breakout room. We already started late. So position of Krishna, knowing is the chief. So from the scripture, right? You can quote so many examples by showing that Krishna is a chief knower of everyone's. Any one example? Can you give the Shastra that how Krishna knows about everyone's body? And we know only about ours. Any example? How Krishna, being Paramatma, understood the mind of the devotee. Krishna knows about everyone. To be more specific, it's about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No idea? Who was that devotee who wanted to suicide? And Mahaprabhu knew it. He wanted to jump in front of the Jagannath. He wanted to jump in front of Jagannath Ratha. Chota Haridas already committed suicide, but this person just desired to commit suicide, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew. Mahaprabhu's like, your body is my property, because he had some skin disease.
Sanatana Goswami.
Sanatana Goswami. Yeah, Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami, because he was arrested by Nawab Hussain Shah, because he took a long leave from the court and he wanted to resign, like his brother Rupa Goswami. He wasn't put in jail, and then Rupa Goswami's gold coins helped him. Somehow he escaped the jail, and through jungles he was coming. So since he was coming, drinking all the contaminated pond water, river water, all that, he got this skin disease, and then he wanted to commit suicide, jumping in front of Jagannath Ratha in Jagannath Puri. And Mahaprabhu already knew it. So Mahaprabhu is like, you're trying to destroy my property. Your body is my property. So Mahaprabhu already knew. And that Krishna is going to, Sanatana Goswami. So even in Kurukshetra war, no, Krishna smiles because Krishna knows that Arjuna is going to win everything. Chota Haridas also, Lord knew his mind. Yes. In one way, yes, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forgave him once he died, no? So because he used to come and sing for Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu already knew it. So that way, Krishna already knew what's going to happen. So he is the proprietor of everyone's body. He knows about everyone, but we know only about our body. So that's the analogy which Prabhupada gives. An knower of every individual. Like another example given is the sunlight. Sunlight is present on everyone. The sun is one. Now Krishna is going to explain more about its field of activity. Rishibhi bahudva geetam chando vedvivida pradak brahma sutra patesheva hetu madvir vinishyate. That knowledge of the field of activities and knower of activities is described in various sages in various Vedic writings, especially present in Vedanta Sutra, with all reasoning as to the cause and effect. So Krishna quotes various authorities, sages. Krishna is the supreme personality why is he quoting scriptures? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. Why? Because he's presenting reference to Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Because Krishna is setting an example for all of us, that we can't preach just like that. We have to quote from the Shastra. Even Mahaprabhu did that. So we have to quote from the Shastra. The knowledge of Kshetra, Kshetrajna has been described by many sages. So he's giving different references. Although Krishna has established position as the Supreme Personality Godhead, the highest authority, but still he's saying this is my opinion unless he gives evidence from the other two authorities, that is sages and scriptures. That's because he wants to give the role of, he's in the role of Guru and he wants to give about sadhus and Shastra. Mahabhutani Hangaro Buddhir Avyaktam Evacha Indriyani Dashikam Cha Panchendriya Gochara Ichadvesha Sukham Dukkam Sangataschentanat Dade Etakshetram Samasena Savikar Karma Udahritam. The 5 elements, false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and convictions. All these are considered some and interaction. So what is all this called as? All together, what is it called as?
Mahatattva.
Yes, that's the Mahatattva, or the 24 elements. So here it said the 5 elements is gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, right? And then 5 knowledge acquiring sense, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, skin. So there's 10. 5 working senses, voice, hands, legs, evacuating organ, and organ of procreation. 5 sense objects, smell, taste, form, touch, sound. So that becomes 20. And the other 5 is mind, intelligence, false ego, and pradhana. 24. Okay, so this is the Mahatattva, like the whole material nature is about like this, the Mahatattva. It consists of the 24 elements of material nature. You got the 24 elements, 5 gross elements, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working sense, 5 sense objects, mind, intelligence, false ego, and pradhana. Pradhana is nothing but the 3 modes, unmanifested state of 3 modes. So the interaction or representation of the 5 elements is the gross body. Our body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And also there is in desire, hatred, happiness, and distress also coming out of it. So manifestation of the subtle body is mind, intelligence, and false ego. It is represented by consciousness. So 6 changes the body undergoes. It's born, it grows for some time, stays for some time, produces the byproducts and decay, and then vanishes. So thus body, the field of activity is non-permanent material thing. So Krishna has explained Kshetra as the field of activities, right? That it's a body made up of the temporary material elements. Kshetrajna is the soul as well as the super soul. He knows the body. The super soul knows about everyone's body. So Kshetrajna is Krishna also. And Jnanam is the perfect knowledge to understand between matter and spirit. Yes. And since 6 topics about Kshetrajna is also explained, the composition of the body, the quality, the changes it undergoes, everything has been explained now. Now, Krishna also quotes from the authorities also, and then he explains the 24 elements, the Mahatattva. Okay, and 8 to 12, he's explaining about the Jnanam, the process of acquiring knowledge. So, real knowledge means what? Vidya. Vidya means the real knowledge, and avidya is ignorance. So, Vidya or Jnana means to know the difference between matter and spirit. So the 20 elements of knowledge is explained. Like now Krishna answers question 5, that is what is Jnana. As described in 13.3, Jnana is the knowledge of the body, soul, and super soul. This is the real process of acquiring that knowledge is to cultivate saintly qualities beginning with humility. So Krishna describes the different aspects of saintly character by which the soul can disentangle himself from the material body and attain liberation. So from 8 to 12, the verse 8 to 12 is about the different qualities which one person should have following the aspects of knowledge and liberation. So it's a big sloka, 8 to 12. So we'll see one by one. First is amanitvam adambitvam, means humility, no expecting respect from others. Like Mahaprabhu says, no, Trinata Pesunichena, Tadurabi Sakshina, Amanina Manadena, not expecting respect from others. Adambitvam, pridelessness. not being anxious to be famous. These are all qualities seen in Prabhupada. No? He was so humble that when somebody asked, are you God? He said, I am the servant of God. Then he corrected by saying, I am trying to be the servant of God. So humble and prideless. Even though Prabhupada had like 40 crores of rupee when he came back and 108 temples, he was never proud of being the founder Acharya of ISKCON. It was like, my Guru Maharaj did this. Everything is because of my Guru Maharaj. And ahimsa, non-violence, yes, he never put others into distress. Even when there was a Juhu case going on, the land was taken back by the owner and so many problems happened. Prabhupada never reacted back. He was just praying. And tolerance, yes, bearing insults and dishonor. So tolerant that initially when Prabhupada was living with a person who was little mad and he had a gun and he was about to kill Prabhupada, Prabhupada ran from that place. He was so tolerant. He went to a park and started chanting. And simplicity, straightforward and non-diplomatic. So very simple. Wherever, whichever part of the world he goes, you'll never see Prabhupada changing his clothes into Western attire. He was always in his dhoti kurta, always. Yeah, so very simple. And serving a bona fide guru, definitely without motivation. Prabhupada never went to the samadhi of his guru. Does anyone know why? His guru is then Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. Our Srila Prabhupada never went to his guru samadhi. Why? Normally we go, no. If it's a guru samadhi, we'll go. Even now we go to Prabhupada samadhi and we pray.
He felt possibly Guru is with him.
Jyoti Lakshmi Mataji, you have network issue. I can't hear you. Can you speak now? Yes, yes.
Mataji, for him, his guru was never dead.
Yes, very good. Yes. So for A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, his guru Bhakti Saraswati have never left.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji. You said that for him, the guru never died. In the sense, the guru was always there in his Vani, no? Yes. So that's what. So Prabhupada's like, my guru never went. You think your guru is, but the guru is always with him, no? So he was so much, he was serving his guru. Said, I'm on a mission. I am serving my Guru Maharaj through his mission. It's Guru Maharaj who said, when I have network issue, what to do? Okay. Then Shaucham, cleanliness. Prabhupada took bath even in an airport once. He was traveling and he wanted to do his japa. So normally we avoid bathing in the airport and all, no? Somehow we see that, okay, let's go home and then get freshen up and all. But Prabhupada was like, no, I should be clean. No, so internally and internally he's chanting. Then 20 elements of knowledge continued. Stairyam, steadiness, determined to progress in spiritual life. Whatever happened, Prabhupada was like chanting so much in Vrindavan, so much steady that Prabhupada's like, for Mangalarati, he was always there for Radha Damodar temple. Atma Vinigraha, self-control, rejecting unfavorable things. Right? When his business was failing and all that, he rejected everything and came for Krishna. Indriya Teshu Vairagyam, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Prabhupada says that he liked to live in Vrindavan, but he renounced that. He gave up all that to go to the West. No false ego, ahangara evacha, no identification with the body. Never Prabhupada thought that he's great writer or something. When somebody asked, you know, Sanskrit, Prabhupada's like, no, I don't know much Sanskrit. And then that person was a Sanskrit scholar. But later on, that person came to know that Prabhupada have written so many books and given word-to-word meaning. Then felt so bad because Prabhupada never had an ego, false ego about that. Then Jaravyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshana. So that sloka also comes here, very important sloka, saying that birth, death, old age, disease. These are the main problems in Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, disease, and that they give rise to suffering. Okay. So these are the four permanent problems we have. And detachment, yes, Patradhara Grihadeshu is very detached from everything. Even though Prabhupada said that everything so much money, everything he had, he was like, that's all Krishna's, nothing belongs to me. In freedom from entanglement with 5 children, home and the rest, Prabhupada gave up everything, took Vanaprastha and gave for Krishna consciousness. Nityam cha samachitvatam. So this is all about pure, okay? We can't copy it. Even mindedness and pleasant during the unpleasant events also. He was constant and unalloyed devotion to Krishna. When Prabhupada's green card was not getting ready to go to America, Sumati Moraji, she didn't give sanction because she's like, you are an old man, you'll die and go to America. And so she never gave a sanction. But then Prabhupada was chanting outside her room for 5 hours. Now, so much he was having unalloyed devotion to Krishna. Even in the Jalatuta ship, he wrote that I have unflinching faith in the holy name. That's why Prabhupada was successful. Secluded living in devotee association, yes, was always, that's why he started the 26th Avenue, that all devotees can get together and live there. Detached from the general mass of people, Prabhupada never associated with non-devotees, he gave association. Accepting the importance of self-realization, when he used to get the dream of his Guru Maharaj to take sannyas, he accepted. And philosophical search for the absolute truth, definitely. Okay. So, no, this is not an, okay. What is Brahma Pucham Pradishtam? Does anyone know? From 13.5. This is a Bhakti Shastri question for you. So, what are the 5 levels?
Annamaya, Pranamaya.
Yes,
That
good.
Annamaya.
Yes. What is Annamaya? Yes, Gayatri Mother, you're right. Annamaya means eating, no? Just thinking about eating, nothing else. They don't know that they are the soul or something. They're just in the bodily concept. Like young children, young babies, they, whatever is on the floor, they keep on the mouth because they have only that consciousness. It's not developed. Consciousness not developed. Yes, that's called Annamaya question. Next is Pranamaya, no? Pranamaya. So you will get 13.5 per part. Third paragraph. You can see all that, the 5 things. Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, all that. So first is Annamaya, that's the consciousness of only eating. And Pranamaya is having a feeling that we are living. Just little high elevation, nothing, not more. Next is what, Mataji? Jnanamaya. Yes, having material knowledge, all material. And Vijnanamaya means to know matter and spirit, to know we are spirit soul. Last is Anandamaya, which is the highest. Anandamaya means?
Spiritual level.
Spiritual, yes. Anandamaya Abhyasa. That's one of the Brahma Sutra. We say Vedanta Sutra says the spirit want to be really happy. That's called Anandamaya. So you can all read that paragraph. Very important question from Bhakti Shastri point of view. The 5 levels of Brahma Pucham Pradishta. Okay. So we'll stop here because I had a long day. So, okay. Any other discussion on the closed book question? You already got the question bank. All of you got the question bank. Anybody have difficulty in sloka? They can personalize.
Mataji, how to remember the numbers, Mataji? When we are going to record all the shlokas, so then we might forget the numbers. No, remembering numbers.
First number you may not remember. You can just, might be like you can just look in the sense, not the whole sloka, like what you're going to say next. Like it's difficult, no, all 14 slokas to be recorded at a stretch. You don't know which sloka to tell when, and you don't know which sloka you missed. So just make a note, not the whole sloka, just the beginning of the sloka, that will help. Like for example, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. If it is like that, Patram Pushpam, you can write one page, keep in front of you. So you just look Patram Pushpam and then you recite sloka. Close your eyes and recite, okay? All of you should close your eyes. Last time when we recorded, there was a Prabhu who was like looking like this and chanting. So his son was holding some tab or something in front and he was just looking. Then he understood because there was a glare coming on the pupil. Then he zoomed and saw it was like so bad because we thought like nice, he's reciting nicely. But then somebody was holding might be a laptop or something that, you know, that glare comes when you're wearing a specs. Then so we know they can't cheat us, but they can't cheat Krishna. And Krishna is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So what you can do is, the best thing is a small paper, When you study the sloka, you can write like Patram Pushpam. Then you know, okay, which sloka, Patram Pushpam. Yet Karoshi, Yadasnasi. Okay. And then you just look just the beginning and then you sing the sloka. And translation, please don't say word to word translation from the book. Okay, last time the junior batch did very badly because they were saying that surrender to me, Krishna, like me. I was like, what is no, that is like a Mayavadi concept. Sarvadanam paritijya mamekam sharanam vraja. When say mamekam, the Mayavadi say it's not to Krishna. You have to surrender to me. So they were the word-to-word translation is because that's Krishna is telling to Arjuna. The sloka is like when it comes to translation, yes, surrender to me. Krishna says, right? When you say manmana bhavat bhakta, become my devotee, offer obeisance to me. That's Krishna is telling to Arjuna. But when you tell it in a class or in a sloka exam, you tell surrender to Krishna. Mamekam sharanam, you have to surrender to Krishna or you become Krishna's devotee. That's how you should tell the translation, okay? Not word-to-word translation like I'm the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabho. No, we are not the source. Krishna is the source. No? So you are, when telling the slokas translating, it should be like you are preaching to somebody. That's the essence of Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Shastri. Now we're telling you to see the sloka so that you preach. You remember slokas when you start preaching. So it's an application. Okay. Yeah, you say, or you can also say Krishna says surrender to me. Like that also it is fine. But better you tell it in your own words. That will be looking nice. Instead of, but if you have already studied like that, that's okay. Krishna says you can say. But it would be very nice if you could put it in your own words and say the sloka. Even if you miss somewhere here and there the meaning, no problem. But at least I understand that you understood. Okay. Sakshi Prabhu, you find it difficult to study the sloka?
Fine, I'm better, getting better.
Every day you recite, Prabhu, okay? You write it somewhere in a paper. Every day in Brahma Muhurta or whenever you're free, just keep chanting the slokas. Then you can... Okay, this is not to copy, just to say that there is a devotee in ISKCON who's very famous now. He knows so many slokas and wrote so many books on Bhagavatam and everything. That Prabhu, they get up at like 2:30 early morning before Mangalarati, and they have like 45 minutes reading time because they're training time. And that time, at early morning, they go to library and read all the sloka. So Prabhu shared, because of that, he was able to remember the sloka so well. So some 10-15 minutes if you keep during the early morning hours will greatly help you. And keep hearing the sloka. Either you sing, record it, or you hear some in YouTube, some sloka, and then you can start it, okay? Okay, the attendance is shared. Next week, we'll continue with chapter 30. And then 4th, we'll have a closed book exam, okay? Same, like last time, 5 marks each, 10 questions, 8 questions to be answered. Short answers, concentrate more on the analogy part. Okay, and 11th, we'll have sloka. Oh, 11th means you can record and send, right? So what we'll do is, I'll share a form, or maybe the video can be uploaded in a drive. I'll share a drive in which you have to upload the video of sloka chanting. Might be after 11th. I'll give you 1 week time. Now you concentrate on the closed book. The same time you chant the slokas also every day. Okay. Okay. Anything else to add? Are we done? Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Please chant more and recite chapter 15 and Chaurashtaka. It's Purushottam month, right? So.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Suma Mataji.
I'm sorry, Mataji. Mataji, I have a doubt, Mataji. In this Purushottam month, they are like saying that you should do this dana and that dana and all. So is it necessary?
Dana?
Mataji? Dana.
Actually, in Purushottam, there's so many other rules. You should not sleep on the bed. You should sleep on the floor. You should not cut the nails and hair and so many things. Like Prabhupada never encouraged all that things. We just follow this basic things, Mataji. It's not possible, no? And when you worship Krishna, it is said Devarshi Bhudatnan, Rana Pidranam, everyone is taken care. Even the giving dana, charity. And the best dana is to give Atma Jnana, no? The knowledge about the soul and super soul. So if you can do, otherwise it's not necessary. It's not compulsory for Krishna Bhaktas, because we are watering the root of the tree. Everything is taken care. And we can't follow everything strictly. Prabhupada never emphasized so much on Purushottam Mass, but we are doing it, yes, to get more benefit on devotional service. Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry. And yeah, the file size is going to be, is it okay? Because the file size for 14 slokas, if it is a video, then I think will the Google form accept it? Because what will be the maximum size and all that?
No, it's not a Google form, it will be a drive. You can upload in the drive, no?
Okay. Drive. Okay,
I
fine.
think in a drive you
Right.
won't be able to
No, I don't. I have
Right.
no technical knowledge about it. I'm just trying to get it from you because I don't have that much of
Or
technical
we can
knowledge.
make like 7
Sometimes
and 7.
if the size is bigger,
Yes, Prabhu.
yeah. Sometimes if the size is bigger, no. So that's not. Yeah.
I'll check with someone and have. Gunashri Mataji, you know idea? Oh, sorry, can you unmute? In a drive, will it take Mataji? I can't hear you.
Upload to the drive.
We can upload in the drive, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Also? Okay, those who have difficulty in that, make it like 7 and 7, not more than that, okay? If you can't recite 14 at a stretch, might be 7 and 7. But in a drive, it may be possible. It takes more. I'll check with before that, okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Gunashri Mataji. Thank you,
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.